INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone tuning into INC Radio, San Francisco, California, where today our topic is all about singing properly and maintaining vocal health. So I know that so many within our district are singers. They know proper singing technique, maybe from the choir, maybe from their own personal hobbies. We're so excited to be able to talk about this and to, hear your tips in the live chat about how to maintain proper singing techniques. So we have two panelists who are joining us today. If our sisters could go ahead and introduce themselves. Maybe we'll go ahead and start off with the sister from the same locale as me to kick us off.
Hi everyone! Hello po to everyone tuning in. My name is Sister Miko and I am a choir member from the locale of Burlingame.
Awesome. Thanks, Sister Miko. And our other lovely sister, if you could also go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi po, everyone. My name is Sister Miles Santos. I'm also a choir member in San Pablo.
Awesome. And if you guys have seen, things like our in concert, our performances within the district, these two sisters have two of the most beautiful voices that you can hear. They really are so talented, and we're so excited to hear all about how you guys maintain your vocal health. So, of course, if you are watching on YouTube, please keep sending this link to any of your friends and loved ones. Make sure that they're also able to tune in and support today's broadcast. Of course, leave your tips as well in the live chat. Other ways to keep up with church media, other than subscribing to YouTube, INCRadio DZEM 954, there's also iglesianicristo news and updates on Facebook, as well as INC News and updates on Instagram and INC News _ updates on Twitter. When it comes to district activities, we are having a baptism held today in the local congregation of San Jose at 2:00 p.m. So if you're near San Jose or if you're traveling there, safe travels po. And of course, we're excited to see you all support the baptism today at 2:00 p.m. All right, before we hop into our discussion, we'll go ahead and take a moment to see what the other radio studios are up to. So if our Clea Tech could go ahead and take us away for a quick station break.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
See how members of the Children's Worship Service value their attire in the worship services. Join us on INC Radio Italy North Satellite Studio this Sunday, February 25th at 6 p.m. Central European Time and on Monday, February 26th at 1 a.m. Philippine Standard Time as we talk about Sunday's Best, Kids Edition. Ci vediamo and don't forget to subscribe to the official YouTube channel of INC Radio DZEM 954.
Last week, we talked about the importance of a healthy work environment. This week, we will deep dive into developing work relationships that last even after you and your colleagues have gone to different jobs. Tune in to INC Radio Hong Kong Satellite Studio this Sunday, February 25, from 11 o'clock a.m. to 12 noon Philippine time. Don't miss it!
INC Radio New Zealand Satellite Studio celebrates your songs of faith, love, and hope. Come and join us as we witness the amazing talents of the CWS in their grand finals as they serenade us with their golden voices and inspiring messages through singing. Only here in INC Radio New Zealand Satellite Studio this Sunday, February 25, 2024, 7 p.m. New Zealand Daylight Time, 2 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Aloha nui! See you then!
And We are back on INC Radio San Francisco, California, where today our topic is maintaining vocal health. And so we actually have a lot of great shout outs coming in already. So we'll go ahead and get to some of those. The first one is from our brother Ricardo Hippolito. Good morning, Paul from Monterey. Brother Andrew Paragas, morning NWC, tuning in here from Santa Rosa from Brother Andrew Paragas and family. We also have Brother Roel David. Good morning, INC Radio, viewing from Castro Valley from the David family. And he also shared a tip singing in a proper way. Make sure you breathe properly, breathing from your diaphragm. Shout out also to our sister Nikki Custodio, who says, good morning, happy Saturday to all, as well as to our sister Alu Pablo, who says, hello, INC Radio, watching from Fremont. Shout out as well to the INC Media team and also those who help make INC Media live. We actually had a great show yesterday, and shout out to Sister Nikki, also one of our live hosts for INC Media Live. Thanks so much for supporting INC Radio as well, Paul. And from Brother Zach and Sister Izzy, their voices, referring to you, Miko, and to you, Miles, their voices are amazing. Check out our most recent in concert, Finding Peace, to see their performances. Okay, so we're excited to read some more shout outs and live singing tips in our chat. But let's start it off with our panelists. So the first question we have for you all is actually an icebreaker. That icebreaker, if you guys were to describe yourselves as an instrument, what would it be?
Did you want to start, Miko?
Sure, I'll go. So, I would probably describe myself as a piccolo, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically like a baby flute. And it's kind of like a small but mighty instrument. And I feel like that's kind of who I am as a singer because off stage or off the choir loft, when you first meet me, I'm kind of soft spoken. But then when I sing, that's when my voice really comes out. So I would say, more or less, I would probably be a piccolo.
I'm loving how creative we could get with these. Yeah. Awesome. How about you, Miles? Yeah.
For me, this is actually a hard question to sit upon, but I feel like a lot of the songs that I like to sing are like piano instrumentals, and has a lot of emotion when it comes to like piano. So I feel like maybe I'd be a piano. Yeah, I feel like I'd be a piano, or maybe like some string instruments, one of those. So I feel like any added instruments to a song like of that, like that family, makes the song pretty emotional. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I just gave it away that I'm an emotional person.
No, it's okay. We all are. Trust me. Just kidding. For me, I'm like laughing at this question. Shout out to Sister Melanie for this icebreaker. It's so
It's a
funny.
fun one.
It's a really fun one. I'd probably be one of those triangles that they have in elementary schools.
Oh,
Just kidding.
yeah.
A simple one because I actually don't play any instruments. I do sing. I also sing in the choir, but instruments, being able to be that coordinated to play piano or something, man, that's a skill for sure. But I aspire to be like an electric guitar. That would be the cool, rock on. Yeah. All right. But the question I have for you guys to actually hear, some of your background and what singing means to you. First question is, what is your history with music and when did you start singing?
I started singing when I was 6 years old. I was approached to be a CDBS choir member, so I feel like that was like my first actual entrance, like into church as well. But aside from that, I would sing with my dad. He's one of the big reasons why I love to sing. He's always singing. He's always asking. He's like, "Oh, can you sing this?" or "Can you sing this with me?" And then I feel like it became a family tradition or family, activity for us to sing. And we're always just like watching family shows, like with singing competitions and all of that. So I feel like that is definitely a big part of why I really love to sing too as well.
For me, it's actually similar to Sister Miles' experience, except it's with my mom, because my mom is also a choir member. So ever since I was little, I remember I would tell her, "Oh, I want to join the choir so that one day I'll be able to sit next to you in the choir loft. But yeah, so through that, music has always kind of been in my life. But the first time I actually um, started singing was like similar to Sister Miles, is when I became a CWS choir member when I was 7 years old.
Wow. Oh, it's so beautiful hearing the background that you both have because you can tell that singing was something that was impacted by your family. And, at like 6 years old or 7 years old, being able to do it now, I'm guessing both in your 20s. Yeah, that's amazing that it's able to, be something that lasts you guys and has an impact for you both. And so, of course, I know from, singing as like a 6 or 7-year old to now, having more grown up, more mature voices, what are some ways that you've learned to, take care of your voice or to even warm up before performances?
Before I perform, I try to avoid well, actually before I even like start prepping my voice, I'll try and like stretch and warm up my body first, because I find that if everything else is stiff, then it's actually harder to get my voice out. So I'll like do some stretches first, take some deep breaths to like open up my vocal cords, my like nasal passages, my chest and everything. And then before I perform, I try to avoid any drinking or eating anything cold or anything sugary, just anything that can kind of like keep your vocal cords from not being warm, basically, or anything that might like clog up your vocal cords, so that that way my voice will be able to come out smoother.
Yeah, say very similar as well, just to bounce off of that. I also try to avoid anything that'll dry my throat. Stretching is very important. I've also noticed that if your body is so stiff or if your neck is just, not loose and like your back is very tense, then it tends to be harder to sing. Even in the choir, we practice, proper posture and having that looseness. Like you don't want to be too stiff or you don't want to be too like tight, like in your body, so that it's easier for your voice to come out. I really do like to drink tea as well, just to warm up my voice and my throat. Try to, yeah, like Sister Miko said, try not to drink anything that has like ice or any I try to avoid drinking milk as well. Just it gets all like phlegmy, and it prevents it from having that clear sound as well. And of course, the most important is drink water, stay hydrated as well.
Yeah, those are all really great tips. And I love how, the both of you kind of referenced like how relaxed and how your body is ready, like warmed up and well stretched and relaxed. That also has an impact on your singing too, right? Because I think that's sort of a misconception because, of course, singing really is mostly your voice, but then your whole body kind of has an impact on that, right? Like, shout out to Sister Nash. I hope you're able to tune into something she teaches us always in our drills when we warm up for the choir. She always reminds us to make sure that our back teeth aren't touching, which is something that really sticks to me actually, because I feel like if your back jaw is tight, then that has such an impact on your singing. That's one, small technique that kind of helps you to remember, like, oh, this is how I should properly even have posture within like my mouth so that I can sing properly and so that I can do this technique properly. Are there any other like tips that you guys keep in mind as well when it comes to maybe posture, maybe even how you're grounded while singing?
Oh, I try when I'm performing, like when I'm either on stage or even when I'm up on the choir loft, I try to make sure that my feet are kind of like shoulder width apart, like that I actually have like a good physical foundation when I'm standing, so that it helps me to engage my core better, and that also helps me with my breath support and either trying to sustain a super long note or trying to um get those four line stanzas in a hymn, and making sure that I'm able to carry that breath all the way through without having to stop too much in between.
Yes, I love that. Like your core has a huge impact too on your singing as well. Yeah, how about you, Sister Miles?
Um, for actually wanted to bring up like if we are in our events and performances and we're cheering everyone on. I as much as I want to scream and like like really cheer them on, I try my best not to strain right before a performance, or I try my best not to speak as much because I've noticed that I do strain my throat even just by talking. So I'm usually just like silently or like, yeah, just, just cheering them on in a way where I'm not like screaming and losing my voice to that point. So I think that's really important too, right before a performance, that you're not, shouting, or even before a choir performance, you don't want to. Well, sometimes I do sing on the way to church,
Warm
which
up. That's part of warm up.
warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to be screaming out or just shouting to a point where it hurts and where it's strained, so that you can't sing anymore.
Yeah, that's a super good point too, especially if there's performances or things that you're doing multiple days in a row. Like maybe if you ride a roller coaster one day, you don't feel it that day, right? But then you wake up the next morning and you're like, "Ooh, I definitely overdid it the day before," right? So I love that you also mentioned being conscious of that, Sister Miles, so that it doesn't have that strain or it doesn't have that bad effect on your voice. But there are moments, of course, where maybe we're really busy or even we get sick, of course. When your voice is strained, do you have any techniques or anything that you do to kind of help with that? Yeah, go for it, Sister Miles. I know what you got. I know what you're going to share with us.
Actually shared
Yeah.
this earlier, but I
Yeah.
have a honey and loquat serum or syrup that
Yeah.
helps with sore throat and just any strain that may have happened. I do take this when I'm sick as well, so it helps coat the throat, just kind of alleviate that soreness or even that hoarseness that happens like when you get sick. If you have a job that you talk for the most part of the day, like it helps with that at the end of the day as well. Some supplements that I've noticed help as well, just help with the inflammation that happens. So definitely just anything that can help with like the lubrication of your throat as well.
That's really great. And we have a couple tips also in the chat, but some are even saying buying it as we speak. And it's true because
Not sponsored.
not sponsored, not sponsored. But yeah, honey has it's supposed to have a really good effect because I think honey has antibacterial properties too. So if you do get like a throat infection of some kind, it's supposed to be really soothing, right? And we have a tip from Zach and Izzy Sese who say also avoiding anything acidic, dairy, and chocolate before singing. Ooh, that's so true because the dairy, especially, you kind of feel that phlegm too. And from our sister Jetta Diaz, she says, try our best to get enough sleep. Ooh, and brother Mike Guerrero says using steam helps with vocal cords. Yeah, definitely. I think like anything warm seems to be really good for the throat, right? Any other tips or things that you also, do to kind of help with vocal rest or to help your vocals cords in general?
I do pretty much the same thing as Sister Miles, or I know that we do this a lot in Burlingame, but like eating some cough drops before performance, because that cough syrup, also helps with the lubrication of your voice before we sing. Um, and then also like what we mentioned before, like drinking hot tea, especially with ginger and honey, because that is really good for your throat and your vocal cords. And then if I do somehow end up straining my voice, I just try to keep quiet for the time after that, just to let my vocal cords really rest and repair themselves. Um, and also, in the same realm as avoiding chocolate, I try to just avoid anything sugary before a performance, because just all those things that are like clinging in your throat. It helps. I mean, it makes the phlegm build up more. And then I remember I also looked up one day how to quickly get rid of phlegm, and it was like to gargle warm salt water. So I did try it, and it does actually work okay, but it doesn't like it's not like an instant fix. But if you need to clear it, even just a little bit, then that also helps too.
That's actually a great one too that I totally forgot about. Yeah, warm salt water when you're sick. But I think one of the trick too is having to do it multiple times throughout the day, and then you don't really feel the effects till the next day too. It's one of those things that's like, oh yeah, it takes the next day to actually feel it. Man, those are great tips. Thank you both so far. And we're gonna go ahead and read a couple more shout outs from our live chat. Brother Jan Eric Lita, happy Saturday po. Viewing from San Francisco while we're having our neighborhood cleanup drive. Ooh, shout out for all the INC giving activities over there in San Francisco. Brother Nathaniel Natividad, good morning, everyone from the local congregation of Concord NWC. Sister Priley, good morning po from the local Sister Melanie Fortes, good morning po. Happy viewing from the local congregation of San Ramon. Sister Danica Sanchez, good morning po from the local of Hayward. And let's see, I also saw a shout out greetings and good morning to everyone po, Pacifica Locale and the entire Northwest California. Greet all of our brethren throughout the world. May our Father continue to safeguard us all. Hashtag go NWC INC Radio from Kajojo Bayani. Thank you so much, Paul, for tuning in and supporting our show as well. All right, let's see which other shout outs we also have. Sister Joanne Guillermo, good morning, Paul, viewing from San Jose. Hello to our sister Sophia, Miles, and Miko from the Guillermo family. And, we have a slightly funny one. I wonder if you guys would be down for this. Brother Jessica Mom, can we ask from Sister Miko and Sister Miles for a sample song? And
Oh,
and he says, and of course, Sister Sophia, but I'm gonna cut that part out. Any samples? No
it's funny.
pressure.
Hi, Polka Jess. Minister.
If you guys don't want to sing today, I will refer everyone to In Concert again, Finding Peace. Yeah, you can see it in depth, the full performances. And then we have another few comments. Brother Jess as well. Yeah, sample song from our host, Brother Darnizi. I think that's Brother Darnell. Don't eat longanisa before you sing or garlic rice. Other good tips too. That's more for those next to you, I think, though, than for you. um, but awesome. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in, supporting, and all the comments. And so last few questions we have for you guys. Do you have any memorable performances when you were able to sing and able to, really perform the best you could for the church? Or even any instances where maybe your voice was really strained, but last minute was able to, come through? Any instances like that?
I really enjoyed, and I feel like for myself, I feel like it strengthened my faith as well. The last two in concerts that we've had that I participated in, I was actually sick for both of them. And the very last time, I was just drinking my teas as well, and then I was really just praying and hoping that it wouldn't affect my performance, and I feel like that was a way for me to just stay prayerful and stay hopeful that that God will guide me through it. So I think that's what really was pretty memorable for me, that God gives us these challenges to be able to trust in Him, that we're performing for more than ourselves. We're performing for the brethren. We're performing most especially to give glory to God. So I think these projects are very beneficial for all of us. And, if we have our next one for everyone who's watching, please join. I think we always have like a great time as well.
Awesome. Aw, thanks for sharing with us, Sister Miles. And, even you wouldn't be able to tell in the actual performance with how, talented you guys are. How about for you, Miko?
I think Sister Miles just rounded us off so nicely. But same thing for me, I would say in concert is probably my most memorable experience singing for the church. Of course, besides performing for my in my duty in the choir, because that was actually my first time doing in concert and singing in an activity that was so big and that was district wide like that. And like also what Sister Miles said, it really did help strengthen my faith, and I felt so much closer to my fellow brothers and sisters who I met there, and the new friends that I made. Um, and also, like what Sister Miles said, definitely I also felt that um, it was really it really allowed us to put our trust in our almighty God. And I know that it also was kind of like a test of almost personal endurance for me, because that whole time I avoided like eating anything that would mess up my vocal cords. It was like weeks, months, and months that and like at home sometimes I would complain like, oh, I really wish I could eat this, but we have rehearsal like tomorrow or this weekend, so I can't. So yeah, I think I would also say that in concert holds a really special place in my heart for me too.
Aw, man, I love being able to hear that, and, it was worth it, right? In the end, seeing the quality of performance and all the blessings that really came from that too, right? Thank you all so much for joining. This was a great broadcast, and I love being able to hear both the techniques that you all use, the techniques and tips that came in from our live chat as well. We do have one final comment from Brother Jessica Mob. Sing from our hearts, especially praising our Almighty God. And that's a beautiful comment, Paul, and a beautiful way to, really wrap up the show. Always sing from our hearts. And I love being able to hear that. And from all the tips we learned, from properly taking care of your voice, what to avoid, and of course, making sure you have the heart and singing. Um, Great topic and great tips from all of you guys. Do you have any shout outs or greetings you'd like to make before we sign off for today?
I actually was going to shout out our minister. He's always sharing it to all of the brethren. I actually got the link last night as well. I was like, okay, hopefully I didn't tell him I was going to be on, but yeah, he's always on, and he's very supportive of all of the activities as well, and supporting us whenever we have performances. And he, hypes us up, and he also hypes everyone up in the locale as well. So I think he's a special shout out. Thank you, Paul.
How about thanks, Miles? That's a great one. How about you, Miko?
I'd like to shout out the Burlingame Choir leadership. Thank you so much, Paul, for supporting us in the performance of our duties. Sister Baby, Sister Shelly, Sister Nash, Brother Michael, Sister Joni, even my assistant syllabus choir leader, Sister Yanessa. I love all of you so much. Thank you, Paul, for always that we're all in this together at the performance of our duties.
Oh man, yeah, I'm bouncing off of that. Shout out to our choir leadership as well, especially in Burlingame, and to all throughout the district, really, all the leadership within the choir. They work so hard, and it really makes a difference in our performances. And man, so much appreciated. I'm already looking forward to be able to sing tomorrow morning in the choir after just having this, discussion and reflecting on this. Thank you so much again to our panelists. You guys were great, and hopefully we'll see you again soon on INC Radio San Francisco. We'd also like to go ahead and thank again all our listeners who tuned in today, everyone who sent us their greetings in the live chat. Thank you also to our executive producer, Brother Manley Andaya, and to our station manager, Brother Arnel Solano, and also to our Clea Tech who helped us out today and all throughout INC Radio. Thank you also so much to our multimedia advisor, Brother Andrew Paragas, our CFO overseer, Brother Roel David, our assistant district minister, Brother Ray Del Rosario, and to our district minister, Brother Jojo Bayani. Thank you so much to our Subsea CEO and CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo, and thank you to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, for all you do for the church and especially within INC Radio. Thank you so much. Well, next up will be INC Radio Texas. We'll see you next time.